Hi guys. So this is day 4 of the 20 days with God, hearing about how God shows up in my life, how he speaks to me, what he says or what he does. And I'm believing that for you too. If you want to be close to God and hear from him and have him show up in your life, I believe that's possible for you too. And so story number 4, let's jump right in. This is a situation where every encounter that I heard about this person was that she got kicked out of places, she got kicked out of appointments, she basically got kicked out of everywhere for being so hostile. Every place she would come to, every people she would meet with. But this time I was actually invited to be a part of a meeting that she was going to be at because I had some information and some perspective that could help just the whole situation and everything, everyone and the people we're meeting with and like the problems we were trying to solve. Honestly, I don't know why I just didn't say no right off the bat. I think it's just because I thought, well, maybe I could help. I had some information, I had a different perspective, and maybe I could be helpful somehow in this meeting. Y'all, I covered this meeting myself and the other people in a prayer of peace before I even started thinking about like the day of going or whatever. Multiple times before I showed up, I covered this whole meeting and this whole dynamic in prayer, just hearing that this was a hostile, angry person and I was going to come face to face with a hostile person. I covered it in prayer before I even went. As it turns out, the room was set up in a circle formation and I sat directly across from her. When it was my turn to speak up, I did. And she was quick to incite fear in me. She was quick to disagree with my perspective and what I had to say. But the crazy thing was, I had so much peace and calm in me in that moment when she just was jumping on me. And you know what? God gave me the exact words to say. I didn't have any fear. I listened to her words with complete respect and humility and calmness. When she would speak to me, here's the words, here's what I would say. Because it's like, what do you say to a person who's acting like this, Well, this is what the Lord gave me, I'm telling you. I would say, thank you for sharing that with me. And she'd say something again. I'd say, I appreciate you telling me that. And she'd say something again, just in anger and just come at me. And I'd say, thanks for letting me know that. So I didn't say that I agreed with her or disagreed with her. I was genuine, I was respectful, and I validated everything she said. I validated, respected her. When she would speak to other people in the room, they were so angry and it showed. Like she was in attack mode on the whole room. And other people took the bait and started defending themselves, accusing her right away. Y'all, his presence in us, God's presence, can be inner peace among a room of chaos and fear and hostility. I was being told I was going to come face to face with a hostile person, with everybody around her. And as I left the meeting, like it was my time was up. I really didn't need to stay for the rest of the stuff they were going to be talking about. But I left the meeting, another gal walked out with me. And she goes, how did you do that? And I'm like, how did I do what? And she's like, how did you stay so calm? Like, how did you do that? And I was like, honestly, it's my faith. Like I prayed over this meeting. Like I prayed for peace. I just covered it in prayer. Like that was Jesus. That was not me. And she was just like blown away, which that's the power of God. And you know, I feel like Philippians 4:5-7 really says it best. Verse 5 says, always be gentle with others. And I know, like, you've heard that verse before, maybe I've heard it before, always be gentle with others. And it sounds easy until you're like in front of a hostile person. Like, we don't feel like being gentle with a hostile person. I don't. Like, that's a great reason for me to like fly off the handle or clam up and be afraid. I mean, I don't, but it says always be gentle with others. The Lord will soon be here. Don't worry about anything, but pray about everything. With thankful hearts, offer up your prayers and requests to God. And then verse 7 says, then, because you belong to Christ Jesus, God will bless you with peace that no one can completely understand. And this peace will control the way you think and the way you feel. Oh my goodness, y'all, I wasn't afraid in there. It didn't rock me. Normally, I would have been. Can you imagine, like, being able to keep your cool? Like, so many times my heart has jumped to anger, jumped to defending myself. Like, I've let people steal my peace and rob my joy in an instant. Their attitude, behavior, and character sets me off. But can you imagine not being triggered? Not being triggered by people like you usually get triggered by? How great would that be? It takes prayer. When you take the time to pray before it happens, it makes all the difference. What's coming up in your life? Or what are you getting ready to show up to that you need to cover in prayer? Who's coming over? What situation do you need to cover in prayer before it happens? Do you need God to give you the right words to protect your integrity? Are you tired of other people stealing your peace? It's way too easy for me to get caught up and frustrated with people. It's so easy when somebody's hurling crap at us to just hurl it right back. But when I prayed for peace over the meeting with the hostile person, knowing that that room could really get out of control, and I don't like confrontation. Like, I get sweaty, my face gets beet red, my stomach gets twisted in knots. Like, I feel sick. But this day, I had none of that. The Lord gave me the perfect words to speak to a very angry woman in the room with a lot of people. He helped me be respectful. He helped me validate this person without joining them, fearing them, or feeling like I needed to defend myself. That's a big deal. Like, that's not anything I could have done or would have known how to answer or do on my own. Like, I didn't have the answers on how to handle the situation or deal with a person like this. Like, I try to avoid people in situations like this. But because I prayed and I asked God to help me, He showed up. And you know what else I think? I think afterwards, like, how could she really talk smack about me? Because what did I do in that room with her? I validated her. I respected her. I listened to what she had to say. And I held on to my peace, my cool, my calm, and my integrity. That's the power of God. And that's the power of prayer. I hope this encouraged you in some way today. And pray about everything in peace. Be gentle. It's not something I could have done on my own. Anyway, have a good one.